Swindon Town ladies boss Steve Robertson joins me today. Steve, unfortunately on the end of the wrong result today, and just when it looked like you were going to get a fabulous win. So your thoughts on the performance and the result?
I thought it was a really positive performance. We were really unlucky they've scored a worldie with the last kick of the game. So that happens in football, not the end of the world. I think off the back of last week we spoke a lot about starting games well, starting the second half well, and I felt we were in the game for large periods of it, but we went 1-0 up, and then we sort of didn't really look like we were going to hold on to anything. Like I said, we're a bit unfortunate to concede the last kick of the game, but there's no easy teams in this league. We had a good game with them today. We competed all across the pitch, and that's all I can ask for at the moment is we compete with them. Again, that's another team that we know nothing about. We now know something about, and that's every team now we've played in this league. So we now know something about everybody. So from now on, we should be able to approach games a little bit differently, or sort of match ourselves up to who we're playing and what players are going to play in what position. But I thought the girls did brilliantly today. Slightly different game plan what we started with. 2 weeks we've done that now, and the girls seem to be taking to it quite well. So from my point of view, I feel like we're starting to get to grips of it now. It's not like we're taking thumpings every week and we're not getting beaten 4s and 5s. To lose 2-1 the last kick of the game from a team that's well established in this league, I can't be too upset about that. We know exactly where we are. We're realistic. We know that if we finish one point above the relegation zone, then we've achieved good things this year. So yeah, no, it's not the end of the world.
Like I said, it was a tight game. The first half was 0-0, and you had Robin really to thank to keep it level. She pulled off some great saves, didn't she?
Yeah, I thought she was brilliant today. I thought aerially she was a lot better as well. But she made 2 or 3 great saves in the first half. We came in at half time, and we actually felt that if we'd been a bit more clinical with our passing in the top end of the pitch, we probably could have nicked something ourselves as well. And I thought Sammy had a great header off a corner that the goalkeeper made a great save on. So we could have come in, if we'd come in a goal up, I think it would have been a different game. We'd have had something else to go for when we got the second one. But credit to the girls, they pushed themselves right to the end, and I can't knock the work rate and the effort and buying into what we're telling them to do. And we are getting very, very close to pushing ourselves over that line now. And I hope that, because we've seen everybody now, we know exactly what the league is, we can almost start afresh now next week and go again.
When Misha scored that fabulous free kick, and after that, you seemed to be, you looked reasonably tight. You didn't look like conceding. You must have thought that's 3 points in the bag.
Well, it goes to show what can happen. We did look tight, and like I said, I just spoke to the girls at the end. I think a little bit more streetwise. We could have kept the ball in the corner, not necessarily kept it for time, but maybe got good possession out of a throw-in that we had, and then from the throw-in, I think even if they take a free kick or something's got to happen to stop the ball getting from our throw-in in the corner to the halfway line down here, which then becomes a foot race. And I felt maybe it was tired legs, but that part of the game, those moments, we need to get a bit better at. And last year we were great at that. We were great at being in front in games and getting ourselves working us and keeping the ball well. I feel like when we go 1 or 2 goals up now, we need to be a little bit better at doing that. So that's something we'll work on now.
And I mean, obviously, like you said, it's a worldy finish at the end to deny you the points. But what about the equaliser? I mean, we were looking around at the linesman. Was it offside, or was there anything in there? But what did you make of the equaliser? Disappointing to concede it.
Yeah, I thought we defended the first ball very well. It's the second ball. When we spoke about it at half time, the second ball was the key. And the only time they looked dangerous really was the first. They had, to be fair, they had 1 or 2 corners that came in that were half decent. But other than that, it was the second ball. Once we cleared it, we need to get up and stop the next one coming in, and that's how they scored the first goal. As for the officials, I think it's best I keep my mouth shut for a couple of weeks. But to be honest, I couldn't even see whether she was offside or not. I thought, to be fair, the girls got him round the back with a decent finish, so I can't knock her for it at all. Didn't think they were well worth a win, but we were under it for the last 20-25 minutes. But we're going to be. That is unfortunately that's the position we're in this league, and we knew that before the league even started. So not all bad.
You mentioned the officials. It did look like the game had a red card in it. Their manager got in a bit of trouble. A few of the players, dissent, and a few, questionable tackles going in. But in the end, it was yourself that got sent off. So talk us through what happened there, because we were on the other side of the pitch and we couldn't hear or really see much.
There's not a great deal to say about it, to be honest. I don't appreciate being spoken to the way that I was spoken to, and he didn't appreciate me telling him that. So stays between me and the referee at the end of the day. I apologise to the girls at the end, but I said to you on the way over, at least to give us a breather for a couple of minutes, because we were under the cosh for 5-10 minutes. So I can moan about them all I want. They're not going to change. I'm not going to change. So we just go with the flow. But yeah, there was nothing nasty in there. I just think he had enough of it. But I think you could see I wasn't the only person involved. So but yeah, it happens, doesn't it? We've all been there.
What were you actually complaining about initially? What was the thing that you were highlighting?
We thought that was a foul on the halfway line that the linesman could have given. Sandy's just spun her marker and she just got caught around the neck as she ran off. And that we asked the linesman why there wasn't a free kick, and he didn't really give us a response, so we asked him again, and then eventually he called his mate over. So I don't really appreciate his mate running into my face with his finger 2 inches from my nose. But he's the man in charge at the end of the day. If he wants me to get off the pitch, I can get off the pitch. We ask for a bit of consistency, don't we? The goalkeeper's done probably worse than what I did from the sideline, but c'est la vie.
And it was a bit that the actual sending off was a bit farcical, because you went behind the railings, which I guess is in a ground like this is technically in the stands. Yeah. Then you were told to move, and you went into the stand that's on the left hand side, and then you were told to move again. So there's no need for that. You've been sent off. He's dealt with you for whatever reason. And did you find that a bit strange?
I'm very egotistical, I suppose, but I need to go behind the barrier. He hasn't actually shown me a card. He just asked me to. So I offered to go behind the barrier if that was a huge issue. So what more can I do than walk over there, or walk and stand up there? So I think he just wanted to prove a point to me. But hey ho.
What are the implications now on the sending off? Are you now out of the dugout for a few matches? Have you any idea?
I'd like to think not. I'd like to think you'd see a bit of common sense. But like I said, never actually showed me a card. Just asked me to move. So we'll see. We'll see, won't we? But I think it'd be very farcical if they did, wouldn't it? The fact that I moved away anyway when I could have stood my ground behind the barrier, which is where I need to be stood. So we'll see what happens. But I'm happy to stand in front and say my piece. It's not a problem. Like I said, I apologise to the girls afterwards because I shouldn't be conducting myself in that manner. But I wasn't aggressive towards him. I didn't swear towards him. So from my point of view, I'm allowed to talk. That is unfortunately my job from the side of the pitch, to talk. So he chose to take it the wrong way. That's fine by me.
We'll finish on footballing matters, and looking on from this game, obviously disappointed, but you said you're happy with the performance. So you'll have training sessions this week, and you draw from the positives, I would imagine. Yeah,
we go again next week. Like I said, that's all the team's played now. So me and Kim can sit down now and have a proper look at who we're playing next and where we're playing, and assess the game and assess which players we use for that game. So from my point of view, if they carry on like that, they're not going to be far off where we need them to be. And like I said, the reality is we're not trying to win this league. We only need maybe 3 or 4 more wins to get us over the line. So there's plenty of time to get that done, and we're more than confident in the group we've got.
Well, Steve, thanks for joining us as always, and you've been a naughty boy today, but good luck for next week. All right, cheers, buddy. Thank you.